Okay, great. So we are live. So everything is fine as per the confirmation by the team. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the students for this particular important YouTube session. From last couple of days, we were continuously getting requests from the student to have some session related to TCS NQT exam. So I am really delighted to welcome Vijay Balakrishnan. Basically, he's a business and product head at TCS TCS Ion. Now, one more thing. Initially, I would like to give a brief introduction about him. Okay, and then later on we can start with the session. Vijay is currently leading the TCS NQT, and he's working on that for the last 14 months. He has been in the assessment industry for more than 2 decades and has a proven track record of creating and scaling innovative assessment products from the ground up. He holds a business management degree with distinction from Waikato University in New Zealand. Besides his professional achievements, Vijay is also an avid traveler and fitness enthusiast who loves to discover new places and culture. Vijay, we are really happy. We are really grateful to have you in this particular meeting. As mentioned, students are having many queries. They want to know more about the TCS NQT test. So I'm really happy to have you in this session.
Hey, thank you, Ajinkya. That was a warm introduction, and I look forward to speak to them. And then, if time permits, probably we can make sure that all their questions are also being addressed.
Right.
Let's see that.
Right. Also, I'm happy to tell all the students that Talent Battle is officially partnered as publisher with TCS Ion. So we are working almost like from last 2 years with TCS Ion team for different assignments. So now, without wasting time, let us start with the actual question. So Vijay, what I have done, I have taken some questions from students. So whatever queries we were getting on different social media platforms, I have just documented them, and one by one, I will ask you the question. So these questions are directly shared by the students to me. So I will start with the first question. Now, the first question is, what are the most significant changes that were made in TCS NQT this year? So students are came to know that there are some changes that have been made this year. So
Right.
Can you please guide us about that?
Absolutely, Ajinkya. So if you look into the NQT, there has been a significant change that we have made based on the feedback that we have received from our stakeholders and from our past experiences. If I have to note few changes that we have brought in the assessments, we are trying to move the assessment completely into an in-center mode where the students has to come to our designated center and they have to give their exams to make sure the test is much more reliable. And we have introduced a couple of advanced proctoring technology to monitor the reliability, to make sure the reliability coefficient is very high in this. And in the last couple of things, while we were trying to do a re-engineering on our product, we've also introduced a couple of preparation guide, which can help the students to prepare well before the exam. And just not with the preparation material, we also thought about giving them a practice content where they can practice to be much more confident to take up the actual NQT test. So by this, we are trying to cover a complete holistic approach of, learn, prepare, and take the test so that you would land in a dream career which you are desiring for. So that is the change that we have brought in the last couple of months.
Okay.
To be more precise.
Yes, that sounds interesting. Definitely. So I will move on to the next question, and later on, if we get some more questions, I will cover them as well. So now, for the second question, how does TCS NQT address any aspiring freshers, maybe from any graduation batch?
Okay, this is a very profound term, that aspiring freshers. See, NQT assessment, the way that we have designed is a standardized employability assessments that will help the student to bridge the gap between the job seeker and the corporate. So whether a candidate is from an engineering or a non-engineering background, they can take NQT, IT or a BFS assessment to help them determine which industry would be suited for them for their career aspirations. Once a candidate has a valid scorecard, they will be able to, apply to the job listed in our job listing platform. And if you talk about an aspiring fresher, any student who is trying to pursue his final year of graduation, or somebody who wants to, who has been graduated, still looking for a job opportunity, and somebody who is pursuing in their pre-final year and who has an aspiration to increase or land in a dream career. Maybe these are all the students I would categorize as an aspiring freshers, and NQT is definitely will address on the segments that I talked about.
Right. So basically pre-final year, or even the student who is in final year, and all those who are still looking for a job after graduation. So TCS
Absolutely.
NQT can address all these batches. So that is one
Absolutely.
important thing to note down, student. So now the next question which I have received regarding the job opportunities after TCS NQT. This is a very common question which we receive. So what exactly about the job opportunities?
I've been also hearing this question across from my team also, that most of the students are thinking about TCS NQT and what sort of an opportunity that TCS NQT has about. So I thought, okay, let me give you a couple of statistics so that it gives you much more confident in terms of the opportunities that we are working on. If you look at the journey of TCS NQT, we started with only with TCS as a predominant to use our NQT as our pre-qualified platform to get an opportunity. Now we are engaging with about 2,500 plus corporates and who have accepted TCS NQT as their primary assessment platform to benchmark and shortlist basis on the scores of the students that they are taking it. So, as far as my memory is concerned, recently, to give you some sort of a data bank, about 1,500 or more than 1,500 candidates have been selected very recently across many corporations across India. And if you look into the average package that they have been selected, is more than about 5.5 lakh package. So that is really interesting, and I would like to count on the achievement that we have done it in TCS NQT, being accepted as a primary assessment platform for employability assessments, where these corporates are taking it as a shortlisting criteria. And so this showcases the continuous hiring companies from TCS NQT with higher salary packages when you compare them with any off-campus or on-campus companies. But if everyone who wants to, join or get this benefit, the student or the applicant should be completing their rich profile to get the benefit of getting an interview call through TCS NQT.
Great, great. That is really great to hear that more than 2,500 corporates are already there, and then all these opportunities. So in such a time when already recession is going on, students are worried about this. And if there are job opportunities which are available to the students, that is great to hear. Right.
And also, Ajinkya, if my memory is right, currently, if you go to our job listing platform, we have active about 1.5 lakh job applications, and we are also trying to work around with our external partners who can enormously add job opportunities in our platform, so that the students who are taking an NQT will be benefited with an opportunities that we provided.
Okay, that's really great. Great. Okay, so I will move on to the next question. Now, when we are discussing, there is something regarding rich profile. So can you more give details about this? What exactly is rich profile? So students can also have that idea.
See, basically, rich profile is like your resume or a profile, digital profile, which is in our platform. The data about your profile will be auto-fetched from the details that you give it in the application, and then it will be digitally converted. So any corporate, when they are searching for a relevant profile basis on the shortlisting, so rich profile will help you to, help them to identify the candidature and the specific skill set it is matching to their job requirement, and it will help the recruiter to be notified. So the candidate profile will be notified to the recruiter, and easily there will be higher chances of them standing out, and then they will be having a job interview call letter precisely from these corporates. So basically, if you the criteria for you to get an interview call from TCS is if you have a successful completion of your rich profile, automatically the corporates whom I was talking about 2,500, while they are searching, they have a criteria to, your profile will be notified to them. So it helps you to have a larger number of visibility on your profile. And when your visibility is at a larger stake, probably you will also land up in the career opportunity.
So students, just make sure you note this point. This is very important. Even all those students who have given the earlier TCS NQT exams, okay, if you have not given like thought about it, make sure you again revisit your profile and complete the necessary details. Yes.
It's just a basic questions about what is your score that you have got it in your 10th and 12th mark, what is your name, email ID, and if you don't verify your email ID, then however the recruiter will not be able to reach you back. And if you don't verify your mobile number, then there is a high chances of you get this missed out an opportunity. So if you keep updating it regularly, and if you ensure that your details have been already there in this rich profile, it will help you to stand out in the crowd, in the competitive crowd.
Correct. Many times students do not fill the necessary data or put the correct data, and that eventually creates the problem, right?
The incompletion of data is, people don't consider while, shortlisting. Look at the number of assessed candidates that TCS NQT has done so far. We are about 6 lakh candidates that we have assessed so far. And if you are a student out of one among the 6 lakh, how do you make yourself to differentiate? If you don't have a profile and if you don't put your, certifications, your, achievements and accolades that you have done in the past, and if you don't update it as and when it is required, then you miss out an opportunity, even though you may be a brightest candidate, or even though you may be a student who will be having a much more 100% eligible to get a job because of a rich profile. And if you don't have a proper rich profile or the digital profile, then you miss out an opportunity.
Correct. This is a very important point. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
Yes. Next point is I guess we have already discussed a bit about it. That is, it's so important to update their reach profile before applying for the jobs.
See, I will add few details on it when you say about rich profile. We also have video resumes also for the students to have a provision to talk about their communication skills, and to any video resume, when you talk about your prerequisites, what have you done in your past, it helps your communication, how well you are able to construct your language, how well you are able to form a particular sentence. So it also helps the recruiter to understand your fluency in the language and the confidence level that you possess. And then it also makes you to differentiate and stand out in this competitive market, isn't it?
Correct. Right.
So there are innovative ways to differentiate yourself. If you don't find it, then probably you might miss out an opportunity as well.
Right. So all those students who have previously given the exam, or those who are going to give the exam, along with the exam score, you need to make sure you are updating reach profile. Like Vijay mentioned about the video resume as well. If it is possible, you should do that. So ultimately, again, you need to differentiate yourself. So that will help the companies to shortlist you in a quick way. So that is really
basically identify you when you do something different from the normal traditional way of doing it. You stand out from that crowd, and anybody who stands out from the crowd is easily identified by the recruiter. And there are high chances of you getting notified, and you land up in an interview call from that organization.
Correct. Great. Okay.
Right.
Next is, what are all the options to opt or purchase for TCS NQT, like different variants and overall information regarding it?
Okay. So if you have recently graduated from a college, you can easily access our website by searching TCS NQT on Google, and you can register it, and you can also purchase it. You will be able to see the products that we have listed. Either you can have a cognitive variant, or you can take up an IT variant if you're aspiring to get into an IT career, or you can also have a choice between BFSI career as a career choice, and you can purchase it. And if you are somebody who is pursuing graduation in your college, you can always contact your placement officers to learn more about opting for TCS NQT. So we also have a vertical where we go to the college and we try to speak to them on how this NQT will benefit as an institute as well.
Okay, that's great. So basically, students, you need to opt for the variant which is more important for you. Like there are different variants which are available on the site, and based on your eligibility or educational background, you can choose the basic variant, whichever is required.
See, all the three variants has its own purpose. If you're looking
Right.
to land up in a service-based companies, a cognitive is required for you to land up in a service-based company. And if you're looking for a career in a product development company, you need an advanced cognitive ability and you need an advanced logical ability to demonstrate that you have learned about it with some sort of a coding. So you need to take up an IT pack to differentiate yourself and to prove the recruiter that you have these kind of a knowledge and skill set. And if you're trying to choose your banking as a career, I wanted to get into a bank, I wanted to get into my career as a banker. So we have different kind of a product that can help you in differentiating, and we have differentiated basis on your career progression.
Okay, that's great. I hope that has cleared the doubts among the students which variant to choose. Yes. Okay. So the next thing is like there will be some value or regarding the colleges which you are mentioning, like through which students can also register through training and placement officer. So what can be some value additions for both institutions and students if they buy through the college?
Okay, this is an interesting question.
Yes.
So if a student has given his consent to a placement officer or from a college, and if a college is interested to partner with us, so obviously the value addition is you'll have a lot of benefits in terms of being a part of a community. We are having a community. We're also running a master class where we try to bring some industry expert and we try to help him to understand and detail the concept of how do you clear a particular concept level for a product development company. Similarly, for a cognition to help you to detail on how do you clear a simple methodologies, or how do you speed up the tips and tricks to clear cognition test faster, because the test is all about your time and speed. When you get into a standardized employability assessment, how well you are able to cover all these questions and what sort of an accuracy that you are in terms of clearing it makes a real difference. So we bring some industry people and we try to help them over a masterclass to exhibit or tell them what are the tips and tricks that is available for them, so that the students learn it and then they can actually prepare it or practice it, and then that results in improvising, or speed and accuracy will be there in your NQT test that you are actually taking for.
Okay, okay. So students, basically those who are currently studying in college, there is one more way, as we discussed, that through college also you can opt for this TCS NQT. Yes.
And moreover, a student who is studying in a graduation has much more cushioning of time in terms of preparing well. When compared to somebody who has graduated.
Already graduated. Right. Yes. So now this is the new change we have came across, like that TCS NQT earlier it used to happen quarterly, but now it has changed to the monthly mode. So can you share information regarding this?
Yeah. I actually missed out to mention this, the cycle that we have moved from quarterly to monthly mode when you asked about the first question on the significant change that we have brought in. See, we understand there is an increasing need of fresh talent in the corporate world. And it is difficult for us to wait for quarterly cycles for them to, give us the pre-assessed candidates for them to hire. So that's the way when there is a high demand that came in from these corporates, then we have moved into a monthly cycle and cutting the waiting time by 2 months for both the students and the corporates. So any aspiring fresher or a candidate can now take the test and get an provision to have an access in our job listing platform, and he can revisit very frequently. That's creating a win-win situation for all of us. The candidate is also excited to get an opportunity. The corporate is also, the waiting time for a corporate to hire any particular student will also be much more less. And if you look into the institution, they will also be able to place the candidates during their academic year itself.
Correct. So that will help like almost everyone.
Absolutely. So that's creating a win-win situation across all the stakeholders for this.
Right.
So we have moved it. Last 3-4 months we have been conducting it, and we see that there is a significant progress that we have made. Where I told you about 1,500 plus opportunities have been released in last couple of months that I could see. So that itself is much more evident for us that this mode is helping us in terms of placing the candidates effectively.
Right. Okay. Next is now again this one change which you mentioned earlier. Bit again some more information like why TCS NQT assessments are only in center.
So if you look into the launch of national qualifier test, we launched it somewhere in between of a pandemic situation. And that's where there were a lot of difficulty where the students cannot travel to a particular common place, and then hygiene issues also. So we moved temporarily to a remote assessments where they can take these assessments at the comfort of their home. And then we are now, the situation is much more evident, and we no longer are in the pandemic situation. So we slowly moved into an in-center assessments with advanced proctoring technology to make this assessment a much more reliable test for a corporate to hire candidates from our pool. So what makes a candidate to be much more reliable, or to make sure that he's an ideal candidate for a corporate, is I have to give him that this is not a proxy taken test. Like there is no proximity of the candidate taking anybody's help. The cheating of a particular candidate is very less, and this is under controlled environment where the human also will be available to proctor the candidate, as well as the technology also will monitor the candidate movement during this test. So this will make sure the corporate to rely more on TCS NQT assessed students. And during pandemic, we have noticed that candidates are experiencing issues in taking it home, like internet connection is not proper, and there is something like laptop get into a power break issue, or there's something else happening on the application. And so this, because of it, they have been missing the completion of an assessment. If you don't complete an assessment, then you don't get a score. If you don't get a score, and you will not be able to apply to your job listing or jobs in our platform. So to overcome all these issues, so what we have taken a decision is to move completely into an Incenter. And we also try to have a reliability in terms of keeping our infra check regularly, so that the systems doesn't face these kind of issues what the students would be facing. And then there is somebody who is taking care of it in a very professional environment, so that the assessment delivery is completely reliable source, and it is executed properly as well.
Right. Definitely, corporates will also rely on such exams where they will also feel that students have not taken any help from anyone else, because that is one growing issue that everyone is facing. But that's good that we have moved.
And in remote, there were some funny instances where, because of the availability of the space in a particular Indian home, you'll have a lot of people around you, and there is a lot of noise that's created, and the student gets easily distracted. And any movement is also being flagged by the system, and there is a difficulty. Maybe the candidate will be genuinely taking up, but still, because of the technology and the space that he's taking up, there were a lot of problems for the candidate. So to benefit the candidate and to make it much more a reliable test, we moved completely into an Incenter mode.
Okay, that's great. Okay, the next is can a student apply and take the test on the same day for TCS NQT?
This is an interesting question, and this is in my wish list.
Okay.
We will definitely move towards this. But however, as per the current flow, if the student is willing to appear for the next NQT cycle for the next month, the last day of application will be in the last day of the current month itself. So it's just more or less like a 15 to 20 days that he has some breathing time to plan his time of travel and to prepare well. So it's just like a university examination date is being announced, and then you start preparing for it. So an effective preparation, 2 weeks, we are trying to give him an intimation so that he prepares well and he starts taking up. That is the logic of, we are having it. But sooner or the later, we have a plan to move completely, saying that a student can walk in, give his preferences at the time of registration, at the time of registering, and then he can take the test. Maybe not on the same day, maybe subsequently the next day or the week that is closer.
Yes, that will be great. So like for this month, we can say 31st July is going to be the last day for
Absolutely.
the month's test.
So if student wants to apply for this upcoming August cycle, 31st July will be the last day to apply. And anyone who is applying beyond that date will be considered for the next subsequent months. So all that we need to ensure is effective streamlining of the delivery so that the exam conduction, the student will have a good experience in coming, visiting our centers and taking and giving the exam for it.
Okay, got it. Yes. Next is I guess we have discussed a bit, but can TCS NQT be conducted in any specific college?
Yes, definitely they can. So now what we are trying to do is we are trying to identify a couple of exam partners for us. So we are trying to go to the colleges across India for NQT exam partners. If any institute is interested, they can reach us through our contact page, and any one of my representative or our team members, any one of them will be reaching out to them. And we have certain system requirements for us. And if the college meets our system requirements, we'll be happy to partner with them.
Okay, got it. Got it. What students should do after completing TCS NQT? Again, a common question.
Okay, so generally after completing TCS NQT, first and foremost is you have to make sure your rich profile is 100% complete. So by ensuring your profile is 100% complete, you can explore our learning contents that is being assigned to you and the practice test that we have been assigning to you so that you have some leverage of preparing well and you can practice well on any sort of a question that is being asked at the interview stage. Then you have our job listing platform where you can start applying to the jobs. And as I mentioned earlier, we have featured about 2,600 plus clients who are actively hiring. So you can actually start applying for it. Once you complete the actual NQT, you will be getting a detailed report. The benefit of the detailed report is you need to look back on your employability, how well you have been employable, what all the skill gap that you have, and if I have to take anything more, or how do I have to improvise it, and where did I go wrong? Maybe if there are certain topics that you can focus a little bit more so that you can prepare well, and then you can be, fix the skill gap, and it will help you to land in your dream career. So all that you need to do is prepare, practice, and then apply in our job listing to land in your dream career.
Right, right. So again, all the students who are planning to give the next exam or who have already given, Even after giving the exam, make sure you complete the rich profile, make sure you become ready for the applications or for the opportunities that you are going to get, and make sure you visit the job portal as well, which is available on the TCS and website. That is again very important. Many students don't realize that they need to again visit the job portal. So that like they need to understand that you need to visit the job portal. Different opportunities are already listed over there. Yes.
So we have significantly, as I mentioned, about 1.5 lakh opportunities that we have at a different salary bandwidth also. The student can apply a filter and then they can land up and they can start applying for it. But to make it, to make sure that they get an interview call letter, they have to be 100% compliance in using rich profile.
Correct. That is like very important. So I hope these were the questions which I have highlighted actually. So I guess there were 12 to 13 questions. There can be some more questions as well. Maybe later on students can just comment on this particular video and we'll connect with you to get answers regarding those questions. So again, at the end, if you want to say anything to the students who are like preparing, so what can be your message?
Oh, first of all, I extend my gratitude to you, Ajinkya. Thank you so much. And the entire Talent Battle team for organizing this session at a very short notice. But even though we couldn't detail more about it, I think the questions was really interesting. And I think that is what today the students wants to know what exactly the NQT is offering. So I think I made a point to address all these questions for them. And my heartfelt wishes to all the audience and the listeners who have been listening this patiently. I encourage you to take this NQT and pursue your dream career. Definitely. So it has a preparation material, it has a practice material, and there are a lot of free learning courses to make sure that you learn it by yourself, like business writing. You have more towards your business etiquettes. How do you have to prepare for a an interview? All these courses that we have given it free for the student to make use of it and land in a dream career. So I urge everyone to register in our platform, take this NQT test, and then get the maximum benefit out of it. And please remember to fill your rich profile 100% and make best use of our job listing platform.
Right. So thank you very much, Vijay, for taking out time. We are really grateful for you, the entire Talent Battle team and our students as well. I know this particular meeting will definitely help you to get them idea, even those who have already given the exam and those who are planning to give the exam. So students, again, if you have any queries later on, you can comment on this particular video. We are always there to help you. And with this, I guess we can end this meeting, Vijay. Again, thank you very much for your time.
Sure. Thank you, Ajinkya. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day.
Yes, same to you, Vijay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.